We recently hit the 8 billion mark. Given the strain on our planetary boundaries, don't you think we far exceeded Earth's sustainable carrying capacity?
It's a significant number, but carrying capacity isn't a fixed ceiling. It's a function of our technology and efficiency, which have consistently outpaced Malthusian predictions.
Technology helps, but we are currently using resources at a rate of 1.75 Earths per year. The Global Footprint Network's data suggests we are in a massive ecological deficit.
That deficit assumes a static mode of production. If we transition to a circular economy and fusion energy, that 1.75 figure could drop drastically, even with more people.
If is a big word. Look at the Holocene extinction. We've seen a 69% decline in wildlife populations since 1970. That correlates directly with human expansion.
Correlation isn't solely causation by headcount. It's a result of how we produce, not just how many of us there are. A billion people living like 19th century tycoons would be worse than 10 billion living sustainably.
But space is finite. Arable land is disappearing due to soil degradation and urban sprawl. We can't just innovate more physical land into existence.
Actually, we can. Vertical farming and lab-grown meat could decouple food production from land use, returning vast tracts of land to nature.
Even so, the phosphorus and nitrogen cycles are already pushed to their breaking point. Johann Rockström's planetary boundaries framework shows we are in the high-risk zone.
Rockstrom also notes that better governance and technology can shift those boundaries. My worry is that a shrinking population leads to a stagnant society that stops solving these problems.
Why assume stagnation? A smaller population could mean a higher quality of life, less competition for resources, and more breathing room for the biosphere.
History suggests otherwise. Innovation is a numbers game. More brains mean more Edisons and Einsteins to solve the climate crisis.
Or more consumers. The Jevons paradox tells us that as technology makes resource use more efficient, we just end up consuming more in total.
That's an argument for better regulation, not for fewer people. Stopping growth to save the planet is like stopping a plane in midair to save fuel.
But a plane has a maximum takeoff weight. We're reaching it. Look at the water crises in the global south.
Desalination powered by cheap solar could solve that. The bottleneck isn't the number of people, it's the cost of energy.
Desalination has environmental costs. Brine discharge kills marine life. Every fix has a footprint.
And every human has a mind. Julian Simon argued in The Ultimate Resource that humans are the only resource that isn't finite.
Simon's bet with Ehrlich was about mineral prices, not the ecological integrity. You can't eat copper or gold when the topsoil is gone.
True, but Simon's point was that scarcity triggers human ingenuity. When one resource runs low, we find a substitute.
We've yet to find a substitute for a stable climate. The carbon footprint of 8 billion people, even at modest levels, is overwhelming the atmosphere.
High-income countries are already seeing a decoupling of GDP and CO2 emissions. We can grow without polluting.
That decoupling is often just offshoring manufacturing to the global south. The global total is what matters.
Even the global total is starting to plateau relative to economic output. The trend is toward dematerialization.
Tell that to the lithium miners. Our green transition requires a massive increase in mining, which impacts local populations and ecosystems.
Would you rather have a smaller population suffering in poverty or a larger one thriving through managed technology?
That's a false dichotomy. We can have a stable population of, say, 4 billion, living in high-tech luxury.
How do you get to 4 billion without a catastrophic economic collapse? Our entire social contract is built on a pyramid-shaped demographic.
Then the social contract is a Ponzi scheme. We need a steady state economy, as proposed by Herman Daly.
A steady state is a dying state in a competitive world. If the West shrinks while others grow, the geopolitical balance shifts.
This isn't a game of risk, it's about survival. Overpopulation exacerbates migrations and conflicts over scarce water.
Actually, many researchers, like those in Empty Planet by Bricker and Ibbotson, argue that the real threat is underpopulation.
Underpopulation is a misnomer. It's depopulation, which is a natural correction after the 20th century boom.
It's not a correction, it's a crash. Look at South Korea's fertility rate of zero point 0.7. Who will care for the elderly? Who will man the hospitals?
AI and automation. We don't need millions of young workers to do manual labor anymore.
AI can't replace the tax base needed to fund pensions and healthcare for a massive geriatric population.
Then we tax the robots. We shift from taxing labor to taxing capital and automation.
If the consumer base shrinks, the value of that capital drops. You need people to buy the things the robots make.
We need a shift toward well being metrics instead of GDP. If we stop obsessing over 3% annual growth, the collapse looks more like a soft landing.
A soft landing with a median age of 60? That's a society without dynamism, without risk-taking, without a future.
Or a society that finally values legacy and conservation over short term expansion.
Innovation is driven by the young. Most major scientific breakthroughs come from people under 40. A world of 80-year-olds is a world of the status quo.
The status quo right now is destroying the planet. Maybe we need to slow down the break things and move fast culture.
Slowing down means billions in the developing world never escape poverty. They deserve the energy and resources we've enjoyed.
Exactly. And because they deserve it, the global north must reduce its population and consumption to make room.
Reducing population in the north won't fix the math. We need to lift everyone up, which requires more, not less human capital.
Human capital isn't just numbers, it's education. A smaller number of highly educated people is better than a mass of underemployed ones.
But you need the mass to find the geniuses. It's a statistical reality.
We are already wasting the genius of millions due to inequality. Let's focus on the 8 billion we have before asking for more.
We aren't asking for more, we are seeing a choice. When people are wealthy and free, they have fewer kids. The problem is solving itself too fast.
If it's solving itself, why are you worried? We should embrace the decline as a relief for the ecosystem.
Because the decline is lopsided, it creates a demographic time bomb that could trigger global financial instability.
Financial systems can be redesigned. The laws of thermodynamics and biology cannot.
Biology includes the drive to propagate. To say humans shouldn't grow is to deny our fundamental nature.
Our nature also includes the ability to reason and practice restraint. We aren't yeast in a petri dish.
We are the ones who turn the petri dish into a garden. Look at the Green Revolution. Borlaug saved 1 billion lives.
And created a massive dependency on fossil fuel-based fertilizers. We've just kicked the Malthusian can down the road.
We'll kick it again with precision fermentation and green hydrogen. That's what humans do.
It's a race we are losing. The rate of climate change is faster than our adaptive capacity.
It's only faster because we haven't unleashed enough human potential. We need more engineers, not less.
Engineers need resources to build things. Rare earth metals are already a geopolitical flashpoint.
Asteroid mining could make those resources infinite, but we need a large, vibrant, spacefaring civilization to get there.
Now you're talking about science fiction. We need solutions for Earth right now.
SpaceX and Blue Origin aren't science fiction anymore. They are the beginning of a multi-planetary insurance policy.
Using Mars as a backup is the height of arrogance. It's an excuse to keep trashing Earth.
No, it's about expansion. Life seeks to expand. Why should humanity be the first species to voluntarily go extinct?
Who said anything about extinction? I'm talking about a stable 2 to 3 billion.
That's a 70% reduction. How do you decide who gets to have children? That leads to eco-authoritarianism.
It doesn't have to be forced. Empowering women and providing education naturally lowers fertility rates.
But that's my point. It's already happening. We are heading for a population peak in 2060 and then a sharp decline.
Some projections say 2080, but even then the peak will be around 10 billion. That's too many for the climate to handle.
Not if we have shifted to a 100% renewable grid by then. 10 billion people on solar is better than 2 billion on coal.
Solar panels and batteries require massive land use and mining. There is no free lunch in physics.
There is an efficient lunch. Nuclear fission and eventually fusion offer energy densities that could support 20 billion with a tiny footprint.
Fusion is always 30 years away. We can't gamble the planet's future on a technology that doesn't exist yet.
It exists in the stars. We just need the collective will and the workforce to harness it.
Or we could just live more simply. Degrowth isn't poverty, it's sufficiency.
Sufficiency might be stagnation for someone in sub Saharan Africa. They want the growth.
They want the benefits of growth health, education, safety. You can have those with a stable population.
Wealth is generated by economic activity. Activity requires people. You can't decouple wealth from the human network.
The human network is currently a human plague on other species.